It's late, Emily. Shouldn't you be studying? Dad's voice drifted from the couch. I finished already, I answered, closing my notebook. For once, I'm ahead. Claire smirked from the other side of the room. That's a miracle. You usually panic the night before exams. I rolled my eyes. Thanks for the support. Mom laughed softly, folding laundry on the table. You two never change. I swear, one day you'll actually get along. Doubtful, Claire muttered, but her smile looked too sharp, like she was hiding something. I wanted to snap back, but I let it slide. Fighting with her never ended well. Instead, I stretched my arms. I'm making tea. Anyone want some? Take chamomile, Mom said. Green for me, Dad added. Claire shrugged. I'm fine. I walked into the kitchen, humming faintly, the kettle squeaking as I filled it. I remember that sound clearly, because it was the last normal thing I heard before the nightmare began. The front door crashed open. What the? Dad's voice cut off into a grunt. I dropped the kettle, water spilling across the floor, and ran back into the living room. 4 men in black rushed in, masks over their faces. Dad was shoved to the ground, Mom screamed, and Claire froze like a statue. Stay back. One of them shouted, waving a knife. Please don't hurt us. Mom cried, clutching her chest. I tried to reach her, but another man grabbed me by the arm. This one, his grip crushed my wrist. Let her go. Dad roared, trying to stand, but a boot slammed into his chest. He gasped in pain. My heart pounded as the man yanked me toward the door. Stop! What are you doing? I screamed, thrashing against him. Emily. Mom's voice cracked with terror. Claire's eyes locked on mine. Wide, pale, unblinking. But she didn't move. She didn't scream. She didn't even reach out. Help me. I shouted at her. Claire, do something. She just stood there, quiet. The man holding me slapped tape across my mouth. No. Dad struggled again, but another fist slammed into him. He coughed, groaning. I shook my head violently, muffled sobs breaking through the tape. My tears blurred everything. Please take me instead. Mom begged. She's just a girl. Orders are orders, one of them growled. Orders? What orders? I fought harder, kicking, clawing, but they dragged me across the floor. My nails scraped the wood, leaving thin marks that burned into my mind. Stop. Please, Mom sobbed, her voice fading as they pulled me out the door. Claire. I screamed through the gag, but it came out broken. Her lips parted like she wanted to speak. But nothing came. Nothing. The cold night air hit me like a slap. My bare feet scraped against the gravel outside as the men shoved me into the back of a van. The metal door slammed shut, cutting me off from home, from safety, from everything. I kicked the walls of the van. Let me go. The gag muffled me, but I didn't care. My wrists burned as ropes bit into them. Shut up, one of the men snapped. Shoving me down, the engine roared, and the house shrank in the distance. Through the small crack in the door, I saw the warm yellow light spilling from the living room window. For a moment, I thought I saw Claire's shadow standing there, perfectly still. Watching, I wanted to believe I was imagining it, but deep down, I knew. She hadn't lifted a finger, not one dot inside the van. The men spoke in low voices. She's smaller than I thought? Doesn't matter. Job's a job. Payments tomorrow. Keep her quiet until then. Payment. My stomach twisted. Who would pay for me to be taken? Why me? I shut my eyes, the ropes digging deeper into my skin as I whispered against the gag. Please, God, let this be a mistake. Let me wake up. But every bump in the road, every harsh laugh from the men, told me it was real, and what haunted me most wasn't the ropes or the knives, or even the fear of never going home again. It was Claire's face. She had looked straight at me, and she had done nothing. Emily Carter, one of the men muttered, checking a slip of paper in his pocket. Pretty name for a girl they don't want anymore. My blood ran cold. They don't want anymore. Who were they? My parents. No, impossible, Daniel. No, he loved me. At least, I thought he did. But Claire, her eyes replayed in my mind again and again. Empty, cold, almost relieved. The van jolted to a stop and the men dragged me out. Gravel cut into my feet as we walked into darkness. The night swallowed me whole. I couldn't speak, couldn't fight anymore. My voice was gone, but inside my head I screamed one word over and over. Why? The room was damp, the air thick with mildew. My stomach ached from hunger, but worse than that was the silence. I spoke just to remind myself I still had a voice. Hello? Please, someone. Nothing answered except the drip of water from a cracked pipe. I pressed my forehead against the wall. Mom, Dad, Claire, are you looking for me? My voice cracked at her name. The door creaked open. A tray scraped against the floor. A man's voice muttered, "Eat." I pulled against the ropes on my wrists. Why am I here? What do you want from me? He didn't answer. Please, I begged. Tell me if my family's safe. He chuckled. Your family, safe enough. What does that mean? I tried to stand, but he kicked the tray closer. Eat while you can. Don't ask questions. The door slammed shut. I stared at the bread, stale and cracked. I forced myself to chew, swallowing with difficulty. Food meant strength. Strength meant hope. I whispered to the dark, they'll find me. Dad will call the police. Daniel won't rest. Claire, my words stopped. I pictured her face frozen the night I was dragged away. Hours blurred until footsteps returned. It's time, two voices. She's quiet, one said. Doesn't matter. As long as we get paid. My breath caught. Paid? Who's paying you? The taller one crouched near me, his shadow long across the floor. You don't need to know that. Please, I begged. I just want to understand. The shorter man laughed. It's funny. She actually thinks anyone cares. Someone does, I shot back. My parents, my sister, Daniel, at her name, they exchanged a look. I froze. Why? Why did you look at each other like that? Shut up, the tall one barked, dragging me back by the shoulders. I fought against his grip. What about Claire? Why did you react like that? Tell me. The short one smirked. Loose lips, brother. Be careful. She deserves to know. The other muttered. Don't. The short one hissed. But the tall one leaned close, his breath sour. Your sweet little sister said you were the problem. That's all I'll say. The words hit me harder than the ropes. No, I whispered. That's not true. Claire wouldn't. The short one shoved him. Idiot. Don't tell her that. It doesn't matter. The tall one growled. She won't leave here. Alive. My chest tightened. You're lying. Claire wouldn't hurt me. She's my sister. Believe what you want. He straightened. Just keep quiet. The door slammed again, leaving me gasping in the dark. I rocked back and forth. Chains clinking. She wouldn't. She wouldn't. My voice broke, would she? I remembered her eyes that night, empty, unblinking. I grabbed at my ropes, skin tearing. No, she's my sister. But the seed was planted. Every heartbeat pounded the same. Thought, what if Claire wanted me gone? Another day passed, maybe 2, maybe 3. Time was slipping away. My throat burned, my body weak, but my mind refused to quiet. When the door opened again, snapped. Tell me the truth about Claire. The tall man shook his head, persistent. Please, I whispered. She's my family. Tell me. He hesitated, then tossed me a bottle of water. She's not who you think. I clutched the bottle, trembling. What did she do? She made sure you were chosen, he said flatly. My heart stopped. Chosen. She pointed the finger. At you. Said the deal would go smoother if you disappeared. The bottle slipped from my hands. Water spilled into the dirt. You're lying, I rasped. He turned toward the door. Think what you want. Doesn't change reality. The door shut again, locking me in silence. I pressed my fist to my mouth, screaming into the skin to keep. From breaking apart, Claire's laugh echoed in my memory, mocking, sharp. You usually panic before exams. Did she plan this? Did she sit and smile while I was dragged away? I curled on the floor, whispering to the shadows. Why, Claire? Me? The dark had no answer. Only the drip of water, steady, cruel, and endless. The first time he lingered outside my cell, I thought it was a trick. Why are you standing there? My throat raw. The man shifted, his mask half lowered. His eyes were sharp but not cruel. Name's Lucas. I glared. Why would I care what your name is? He shrugged. Because I'm the only one here willing to talk to you. I don't want your company. Sure you do, he said quietly. You're starving for it. I hugged my knees, refusing to answer. After a moment, he pushed a small piece of bread through the bars. Eat. They don't feed you enough. Suspicion burned in me. Why are you giving me this? Because I don't like watching people starve, he muttered. I snatched the bread, chewing slowly. My stomach screamed for more, but I kept my eyes on him. If you care so much, why don't you let me out? Not my choice. Then stop pretending you're different. He leaned closer, lowering his voice. You want the truth? I'm not like them. I didn't sign up for this part. I was hired for muscle, not kidnapping. I narrowed my eyes. And that makes you better. No, but it makes me useful because I hear things. My pulse quickened. What kind of things? He hesitated, glancing down the hallway. Things you deserve to know, even if it breaks you. Say it. He studied me for a long moment, then whispered, Claire. Her name sliced through me. What about her? Is the reason you're here? I laughed bitterly. Do you expect me to believe my sister, my own blood, did this? His gaze didn't waver. She promised them money. Said she'd make. Sure, you vanished. No, my voice cracked. No, she wouldn't. Claire, she's jealous sometimes. But she wouldn't. Lucas cut me off. She stood in the room when they discussed it. I heard her. My stomach twisted. You're lying. Why would I lie? What do I gain from it? I pressed my hands against my head. You gain power over me. You get to watch me fall apart. He sighed, believe what you want. If I saw her face. Cold. Sure. She didn't hesitate. I shook my head violently. You're trying to turn me against her? You don't need me to. She already did the work herself. Silence pressed. In between us, my heart slammed against my ribs, begging me not to believe him. But the memory of her frozen eyes the night of the kidnapping clawed at me. Why? I whispered. Why would she do this? Lucas leaned his back against the wall. 'Cause she wanted something you had, maybe your parents' love, maybe a man, maybe freedom from you. Doesn't matter. What matters is she wanted you gone. My breath shuddered. I don't believe you. He pushed another crumb of bread through the bars. Then don't. But the truth doesn't care what you believe. I stared at the bread, but didn't touch it. If you know all this, why are you still here? Why not walk away? Because I owe them money. Because they own me too. He clenched his fists. But you don't belong here. That's why I give you food. That's why I talk to you. You're part of this, I spat. You tied me down. You watched me cry. His voice dropped lower, and I hate myself for it. I studied him, searching for cracks in his mask. If you really cared, you'd let me out. He met my eyes. Not yet. If you run now, they'll kill you before you make it to streets. So you'll just keep me here for now, but I'll find a way. I wanted to laugh, to curse him, but instead I whispered, You're still telling me Claire betrayed. Me? Yes. His tone carried no hesitation, and if you live long enough, you'll see it for yourself. I clutched the bars, pressing my forehead to the cold metal. She used to share secrets with me under blankets. She used to hold my hand when I was scared of storms. She wouldn't. Lucas's expression softened, but he didn't look away. People change when envy eats them alive. I swallowed hard. And you expect me to thank you for telling me? No, he said simply. I expect you to survive it. I closed my eyes. Survive what? Being forgotten. Being replaced. Survive her betrayal, he whispered. The words sank deep, poisoning me. I pulled away from the bars, curling against the wall. I don't want to believe you. You don't have to, he said. But remember it when the truth finally shows its face. For the first time, I didn't answer. I couldn't. Lucas stayed a little longer, silent on the other side of the bars, until finally he walked away. The echo of his footsteps left me trembling. I whispered to the empty cell. Claire, how could you? The rain was pounding when Lucas hissed through the bars tonight. If you want to live, you follow me. My heart leaped. You're serious. Dead serious. Keep quiet. Keep low. Cut the ropes on my wrists. Don't make me regret. I already regret trusting you, I whispered, rubbing my raw skin. But I'll take the chance. We slipped into the storm. Mud clung to my feet. Stones sliced my soles. But I didn't care. Every breath was freedom. Run straight, Lucas urged. Don't look back. Why are you helping me? I gasped. Because I'm tired of being their dog. Go, I ran. Branches tore at my arms, rain blinded me, but I pushed on until the road opened. Single thought pounded in my head. Home. When I reached the familiar street, my chest cracked with hope. Lights glowed in the windows. I staggered forward, soaked, trembling, but alive. I shoved the door open. Mom, Dad, but the living room was not what I expected. Claire stood there, her hand tightly wrapped around Daniel's. My world stopped. Emily? Claire gasped, stepping back as if she'd seen a ghost. Daniel's face went pale. He didn't move. He didn't let go of her hand. My lips trembled. Daniel. Claire. What is this? Claire rushed toward me, her voice high and fake. You're alive. We thought you were gone forever. I stumbled back. Don't touch me. Don't. You dare touch me. Daniel finally spoke, voice low. Emily, I don't know what to say. I stared at their hands still clasped. Say you're not with her. Say this is some sick misunderstanding. Claire interjected. She's confused. She's been through trauma. Don't push her. My head snapped toward her. Shut up. I know what you did? Her eyes flickered, then narrowed. I don't know what you're talking about. You betrayed me. I screamed. You handed me to them, and now you're standing here with him. Daniel finally let go of her hand, but his silence was worse than a knife. Daniel, I whispered, desperate, tell me she's lying. Tell me you didn't. He couldn't meet my eyes. Emily, you were gone for months. We thought you were. Dead, that justifies this? My voice broke. I was kidnapped, tied up, starved and you replaced me with her. Claire clutched his arm, her voice shaking. Don't let her twist things. She needs help. She's delusional. Delusional. I laughed bitterly, rain dripping from my hair onto the floor. You think I imagined your name in their mouths? That I imagined the way you looked at me when they dragged me out the door? Stop, she snapped, her mask slipping. You're ruining everything, everything. My chest heaved. Everything you stole from me. Mom and Dad entered, drawn by the shouting. Mom's face lit with tears. Emily, you're alive. She tried to embrace me, but I stepped back. Where? Were you? Dad demanded, his voice breaking. We searched, I cut him off. Did you search hard enough, or did Claire whisper in your ears too? Emily, Mom pleaded, don't accuse your sister. She held us together while you were gone. Held you together. I spat. She tore me apart. Claire's eyes glistened, but her tears looked rehearsed. I never wanted this. I never wanted you to suffer. Then why did you take him? I pointed at Daniel, my hand trembling. Why did you crawl into my place? While I rotted in a cage. Daniel finally looked at me. His voice cracked. I tried to move on. I didn't think I'd ever see you again. I stared at him, at the man I had loved more than my own life. So you chose her, my sister. He lowered his head, my knees buckled, but I forced myself upright. You were supposed to fight for me, both of you, and instead you erased me, Claire whispered sharply to him, thinking I wouldn't hear. Don't let her manipulate you. She's unstable. Unstable, I snapped. I survived hell. You put me there. And now you're calling me unstable. Daniel rubbed his forehead. Emily, I don't know what's true anymore. Then let me make it clear. I stepped closer, my voice steady despite the storm in me. She sold me. She wanted me gone. You let her replace me. The room went silent, heavy with my words. Mom covered her mouth. Dad looked torn. Claire's eyes darted nervously, but she forced a smile. She needs rest. That's all. She's confused. I laughed hollowly. Confused? No, I see it clearer than ever. You wanted my life, Claire. And you, Daniel Liu, gave it to her. Neither of them spoke. The silence was my answer. I staggered back toward the door. Fine, keep your lies, keep each other. But don't you dare pretend you didn't bury me alive. The rain swallowed me again as I stepped outside, the cold air biting into my wounds. My chest ached, but inside a fire sparked. They thought I was broken. They had no idea. Sit down, Emily, Mom urged, guiding me toward the kitchen table. You need food. Rest. You've been through so much. I don't want food, I snapped. I want you to listen. Dad folded his arms. We're listening. Tell us. Leaned forward, trembling. Claire betrayed me. She's the reason I was taken. I heard them say her name. Kiswan of the kidnappers told me she promised them money. She wanted me gone. Kay? Mom gasped, glancing at Claire. That's a horrible thing to say. Claire pressed her hand against her chest, tears filling her eyes. I can't believe you'd accuse me, Emily, after everything. After everything. My voice rose. After you stole my fiancé. After you stood frozen while they dragged me away? Don't act innocent. Daniel, standing in the corner, finally spoke. Emily, maybe you should slow down. You've been through trauma. It's clouding things. Clouding things. I glared at him. You think I don't remember the look on her face? You think I don't remember begging her to help me? Claire sniffled. I told them she was unstable, didn't I? Look at her. She's lashing out, inventing stories. She's not well. I'm not unstable. Slammed my hands on the table. I was kidnapped. Do you understand? Kidnapped? And while I rotted in a cell, I pointed at her, were holding his hand. Mom reached for me, voice soft. Emily, sweetheart, sometimes our minds protect us from pain by creating explanations. No, Mom, I whispered harshly. This isn't in my head. She's lying to you. Dad rubbed his forehead. Let's not accuse without proof. Claire was here every night. She cried for you. She prayed for you. She performed for you. I shot back. She made you believe she cared, but she was hoping I wouldn't come back. Claire's tears spilled down her cheeks. Why are you doing this to me? I welcomed you back. I wanted you safe. And now you're attacking me. Because you destroyed me. My voice cracked. You took everything that mattered to me. Daniel shifted uneasily. Emily, I don't think this is the time to bring up. Oh, shut up, Daniel, I snapped. You don't get to tell me when to speak. You chose her over me. You don't get to silence me now. His jaw tightened. But he didn't answer. Mom stood quickly. That's enough. You need sleep. Tomorrow will be clearer. No, I shouted. Tomorrow won't change the truth. You've already chosen her. You all look at me like I'm some broken doll, but I'm alive. I survived. Doesn't that mean anything to you? Dad's eyes softened, but his words pierced me. We're grateful you're alive. But accusing your sister without evidence, it only causes more pain. Evidence, I whispered. My scars aren't evidence enough. My nightmares. The sound of her name in their mouths. Claire whispered, trembling just enough to look convincing. I never wanted to replace you. I only wanted to honor you. Honor me. My laugh was hollow by sliding into my life, by wearing my place like a dress that finally fit. Emily, Mom scolded. That's cruel. Cruel. I pointed at Claire. Cruel is letting me rot in the dark while she stole the light. Daniel finally stepped forward. Enough. This isn't helping anyone. I turned on him. Do you even love her? Or are you just too weak to admit you abandoned me?
Yes.
Lips parted, but no words came. The silence that followed shattered me more than any answer could. I stood abruptly, the chair screeching. Fine, don't believe me. Pretend I'm crazy. But remember, this truth has a way of crawling out. No matter how deep you bury it. Mom reached for me again, voice desperate. Emily, please. We're a family. Let's heal together. I pulled back. Families don't sell each other. Families don't steal each other's lives. Claire whispered softly, almost pleading. I love you, Emily. You're my sister. I met her eyes, my voice low and sharp. You don't love me. You envy me. And envy doesn't love, it kills. The room fell silent. Dad finally said, Go rest. I turned toward the stairs, my body shaking with rage and grief. Each step felt heavier, like the house itself was pushing me out on in my old room. I stared at the walls, at the bed that once felt safe. Nothing was mine anymore. I was a ghost walking through a life that had already been claimed. I whispered into the dark. I'm alive, but I don't belong here. I sat on the edge of my bed, staring at the cracks in the ceiling. My tears had run dry. Crying wouldn't fix betrayal. Fine, I whispered to myself. They won't see the truth. I'll make them choke on it. The next morning at breakfast, Claire greeted me with her perfect smile. Sleep well, sister. I forced my lips into a calm curve, like a baby. Her eyes flickered, searching for cracks. Good. You'll need rest. Recovery takes time. Recovery. I echoed softly, watching her sip from my favorite mug as if it had always belonged to her. Dad cleared his throat. We're glad you're back, Emily. Just try to get along for everyone's sake. Oh, don't worry, I said sweetly. I'm done fighting. Inside, rage licked my veins like fire. That night, I slipped into the study, rifling through drawers. Claire's handwriting appeared on a folded note, numbers, names, payments. My pulse quickened. Evidence. Looking for something? A voice whispered from the shadows. I spun. Lucas stepped from the corner. You, I hissed. How did you get in here? He smirked. Old habits. More importantly, why are you snooping? 'Cause no one believes me. I need proof. He nodded. Good, but be careful. She's not finished with you. My chest tightened. What do you mean? She told them you're unstable, that sooner or later you'll break again. She's already laying the ground to erase you this time for good. I clenched the note in my fist. Let her try. Lucas studied me. You've changed? No, I whispered. I've woken up. He leaned closer. Then wake up fully. Use her games against her. I swallowed hard. Why are you helping me again? Because I hate debt, and because I hate her more. I narrowed my eyes. You expect me to trust you? He shrugged. Trust or not, I'm all you've got. I exhaled slowly. Fine, then tell me, how do I bring her down? He smiled faintly. Patience. Wait for her to slip. Record everything. Turn her lies into knives. The fire inside me roared. I'll make her fall with her own words. Lucas nodded. Good girl. Don't call me that, I snapped. He chuckled. There's the fighter. I shoved the note into my pocket. If she thinks I'll disappear quietly, she's forgotten who I am. The next day, Claire cornered me in the hallway. Still. Angry. I forced my voice steady. No, I'm grateful. Her brow furrowed. Grateful. For the lesson. You taught me not to trust anyone, not even family. Her smile faltered. You're strange lately. Strange. I stepped closer. Maybe I'm just seeing clearly now. She tilted her head. Careful, Emily. People who can't control themselves end up hurting everyone. I leaned in. Funny, that's exactly what I planned for you. Her eyes widened, but I walked away before she could answer. That night, I replayed every moment in my mind, her fake tears, Daniel's silence, my parents' disbelief. Each memory was fueled. Lucas appeared at my window, tapping softly. I opened it with a glare. Do you enjoy sneaking into my room? Do you enjoy plotting in the dark? He countered. I sighed. What now? He handed me a small recorder. Proof? Use it. I turned it over in my hands. And when she finally admits it, he smirked. Then you burn her world to ashes. I nodded slowly. She wanted me erased. But I'll carve my name into her lies. Lucas's gaze lingered. You're stronger than when I first saw you. I'm not strong, I whispered. I'm furious, and that's better. For the first time, I felt control slip into my hands like a weapon. I closed the window after him and whispered into. The night, Claire, you wanted me gone. But now I'm the storm you can't escape. I sipped my coffee at the kitchen table, pretending not to notice the tension between Claire and Daniel. Daniel slammed his phone down. Why didn't you tell me about the suppliers pulling out? Claire blinked. What are you talking about? Don't act clueless. They said you spoke to them. You promised payments we never agreed to. Her face tightened. That's ridiculous. They must be lying. I set my cup down. Funny how often people lie around you, Claire. She shot me a warning glare. Stay out of this. Daniel rubbed his forehead. It's my company on the line. If we lose this deal, everything falls apart. Maybe, I murmured, you should stop trusting promises made behind closed doors. Daniel looked at me sharply, then away. Claire clenched her fists. Don't twist this, Emily. You've been trying to turn him against me since you've got back. I leaned forward, my voice calm. I don't have to twist anything. The cracks are showing all on their own. Later that evening, whispers filled the living room. Neighbors had stopped by, curiosity shining in their eyes. Claire, we heard rumors, Mrs. Hayes said delicately. People are saying you exaggerated. Emily's condition, that you misled us. Claire gasped. Absurd. I would never. Then why? I interrupted smoothly. Did you tell everyone I ran away because I couldn't handle life? Her cheeks flushed. Because that's what I believed. No, I said evenly. That's what you wanted them to believe. The room fell silent. Even Mom's smile wavered. Claire forced a laugh. She's making things up. You can't trust her. Then why? I asked. Do you look terrified every time I speak? Daniel's eyes flickered toward her. She does, he muttered under his breath. Claire spun toward him. Don't you dare start doubting me. I'm not doubting, he said, but his tone was unconvincing. I smiled faintly. Maybe you should doubt, Daniel? After all, trust isn't blind, it's earned. The following day, Daniel cornered me outside. Rain tapped against the windows as he spoke. Emily, tell me the truth. Are you behind these rumors? I tilted my head. Would it matter if I was? The truth is still the truth. His jaw tightened. I just want to know who to believe. Believe your eyes, I whispered. Watch her, she'll tell on herself. He hesitated. And if you're wrong, then I'll disappear again, I said flatly. But we both know I'm not wrong. That night, I found Claire pacing the kitchen, muttering to herself. You think you're clever, don't you? She hissed when she noticed me. I leaned against the doorway. Clever enough, you won't win. Daniel's mine. This family's mine. You should have stayed gone. I smirked. And you should have been smarter. Lies don't last forever. Her lips curled. You'll regret this. No, I said softly. You will. The next week, Daniel's investors pulled out. His phone calls grew louder, his temper shorter. Why does everyone keep saying you mismanaged the funds, Claire? He shouted one evening. She slammed her hands on the counter. "'Cause your darling Emily is feeding them lies." I stepped into the room. Funny, I haven't spoken a word to them. Maybe your own actions are catching up to you. Daniel turned toward me. "Did you?" I met his gaze. "No, but maybe you should ask why they believe it so easily." His face fell because it sounds true. Claire grabbed his arm desperately. "Don't say that. Don't you dare doubt me." He pulled away. "I don't know what to think anymore." I walked closer, my voice low. "Then think about this. When I was gone, who told you how to see me? Who decided I was unstable?" Daniel's eyes widened slightly. "Claire," I whispered, "or me?" He said nothing, but silence was enough. Days passed, and the whispers grew louder. Friends avoided Claire. Business partners cut ties. Even Mom's trust began to falter. One afternoon, Mom confronted her in the garden. "Claire, why did you tell us Emily ran away? Why didn't you admit we didn't know the truth?" Claire stammered, I thought it would hurt less." Mom shook her head. "Or you thought it would help you." I watched from the doorway, satisfaction warming me. Claire stormed inside, slamming the door. "You're poisoning everyone against me." "No," I said calmly, "you're doing that yourself." Her chest heaved. "I hate you." "Good," I whispered. "Hate keeps you honest." That night, Daniel found me outside again. His voice trembled. "Emily, I don't know how I let this happen." I looked at him, my heart both aching and hardened. "Because you wanted to believe her lies. They were easier than my truth." His eyes glistened. "Maybe I was wrong. Maybe—" I smirked bitterly. "Keep watching, Daniel. Its cracks are only beginning." For the first time since my return, I wasn't the one trembling. Claire was. I found Claire alone in the living room that night, pacing like a cornered animal. "You've been quiet lately," I said softly, "almost like you're afraid." She spun around, eyes blazing. "Afraid? Of you." "Don't flatter yourself." I stepped closer. "Then why do you keep looking over your shoulder?" Her jaw tightened. "Because you won't stop. You've been trying to destroy me since you came back." I smiled faintly. "Destroy you? You already did that yourself. I'm just watching." She slammed her hands on the table. "You don't get to say that. You don't get to come back and steal everything." I built. I laughed. "You mean stole?" "You stole, Daniel. You stole my place, and you tried to steal my life." Her voice cracked into a scream. "'Cause it should have been mine." The room fell silent. My pulse hammered, but I kept my face calm. "Say that again?" She shook, teeth clenched. "It should have been mine." "All of it. Daniel, Mom and Dad's love. Everything they gave you without question. I was always second, always the shadow. Tired of living in your shadow." My hands trembled, but I forced the recorder in my pocket to stay steady. "So you had me taken?" "Yes," she screamed. "I told them to get rid of you. I wanted you gone so I could finally breathe." I inhaled sharply. "You admit it?" Her eyes narrowed. "No one will believe you. They never do. You're unstable, remember?" I stepped closer, lowering my voice. "They will when they hear your words." Her face went pale. "What did you do?" I pulled the small recorder from my pocket and pressed stop. The red light blinked. "I did. What you never thought I could. I outplayed you." She lunged at me, trying to snatch it away. "Give me that." I shoved her back, my voice like ice. "No, Claire. This is the end." She froze, breathing hard. "You can't ruin me. I won't let you." "You already ruined yourself," I said. "All I did was let you speak." Her hands shook. "If you play that, I lose everything." "Could," I whispered. "Now you know how it feels." Her eyes filled with tears, but not sorrow rage. "You don't understand. All my life I was compared to you. Emily's smarter. Emily's prettier. Emily's perfect. Do you know what that does? To a person?" "Yes," I snapped. "Because I know what it feels like to be betrayed by the person I trusted most." She shook her head violently. No, you don't. You always had everything handed to you. I had to claw for scraps. I pointed at her, and you clawed into me. You could have had your own life, but you wanted mine. And you thought I wouldn't. Fight back? Her voice broke. Daniel chose me. He stayed with me. He settled for you, I corrected coldly, 'cause he thought I was gone. And when he hears this, he'll know the truth. They all will. Her tears spilled, but she snarled through them. You'll regret this, Emily. I held the recorder up between us. No, this is the one thing I'll never regret. She slumped into the chair, defeated. So what now? You play it, and I lose everything. Yes, I whispered. You lose what you stole? The house was silent except for her ragged breathing. For the first time, I saw her not as my sister, but as the stranger who had destroyed me. She muttered almost to herself, I only wanted to be seen. I swallowed hard. You could have been if you hadn't buried me first. Her shoulders shook, but I turned away. The fire inside me was no longer rage. It was victory, I whispered as I walked upstairs. The recorder clutched in my hand. It's over, Claire. That night marked the end of her lies. Daniel found me in the garden the next morning, eyes red, face pale. Emily, he whispered, voice trembling. Please, can we talk? I didn't look at him. Talk. Now you want to talk. He stepped closer. I didn't know. I swear. I didn't know what Claire had done. I turned sharply. You didn't want to know? You believed the lies because it was easier than facing the truth. His eyes glistened. I thought you were gone forever. I thought you thought... Wrong, I cut in. You thought I was dead. And instead of waiting, instead of fighting, you let her slide into my place. He flinched. I was broken, Emily. I didn't know how to breathe without you. So you breathed through her. My laugh was bitter. That's not love. That's weakness. He reached for me, but I pulled back. Please, Emily, I never stopped loving you. I shook my head. Love doesn't survive betrayal, Daniel. It rots. Whatever you felt for me died the moment you held her hand instead of mine. Tears slipped down his face. I was blind. I should have seen her lies, but I didn't. And now I've lost everything. I stared at him, my chest heavy but cold. You lost me long before last night. The second you chose silence, I was already gone. His voice cracked. Give me one chance to make it right, please. There's nothing to make right, I whispered. I can't go back to who I was. I can't unsee you standing with her. He fell to his knees, clutching his head. Don't say that. Don't leave me like this. I swallowed hard. I already left you. It's the night you let her speak for. Me, the night you doubted me, left you then. This is just the part where you realize it. He looked up, broken. Emily, I can't live without you. You managed fine when you thought I was gone, I said. You'll manage again. Not like this, he begged. Not knowing you hate me. I don't hate you, I admitted. Hate would mean I still cared. But I don't. You're just nothing now. He sobbed, the sound raw, desperate. Please don't say that. I turned toward the door. The truth, and the truth doesn't care if it hurts. His footsteps stumbled after me. If I could take it back, I would. If I could undo it all, you can't, I snapped, spinning around. You can't undo my nights in that cell. You can't undo the way she smiled beside you while I starved. And you can't undo the way you looked at me when I came home. It's like I was a ghost, like I didn't belong. He froze, tears streaking his face. I made a mistake, a terrible one. Yes, I said quietly, and mistakes have consequences. He whispered, voice breaking. So that's it. Will never forgive me. I held his gaze. Forgiveness isn't the same as love. Maybe someday I'll forgive you, but I will never love you again. His body shook. Don't leave me alone, Emily, please. You were never mine to leave, I said coldly. You left yourself the day you chose her. He crumpled onto the bench, head in his hands. I ruined everything. I stepped back, watching him fall apart, and for the first time, I didn't feel pain. I felt nothing. Goodbye, Daniel, I whispered, turning away. He didn't follow this time, and for once, I meant it when I said goodbye. The city lights faded behind me as I stood at the edge of the hill, watching dawn spill across the horizon. I whispered to the rising sun, I made it. I'm still here. Footsteps crunched on the gravel. Lucas leaned against a tree. You like watching the sunrise? I didn't look at him. I like knowing the night ended. He smirked faintly. Poetic. So, what now? You've burned her world down. I exhaled slowly. Now I build mine. Without them. He asked, without any of them. I said firmly. My parents believed her lies. Daniel chose her. Claire destroyed herself. None of them are part of me anymore. Lucas tilted his head. You sound sure. I am. I touched the scar on my wrist where the rope had cut deep. This isn't a wound anymore. It's proof. Proof that I survived when they wanted me erased. He studied me for a moment. You've changed. I turned to him, my voice steady. No, I've finally remembered who I was. They made me forget. They made me doubt myself. But not anymore. He shrugged. So what's the plan, Emily Carter? I live, I said simply. I live louder than their betrayal. I live stronger than their lies. I live for me. Lucas chuckled. Not revenge. Revenge already happened, I said, Claire confessed. Daniel broke. Their perfect world. Shattered. That was enough. He raised a brow. "'Kay, and you don't want more?" I shook my head. Revenge isn't life. It's a cage, just like the one they put me in. I'm done being in cages. Silence stretched between us, broken only by birds stirring awake. Finally, he said, "You're tougher than I thought." I smiled faintly. I had to be. No one came for me. I came for myself. Smirked. I came for you once. I met his eyes. And I'll never forget that. But survival isn't just about who saves you, it's about who you become afterward. He nodded. Fair enough. So no running back into their arms. Not even if they beg. They already begged, I said. Daniel cried. My parents doubt it. Themselves, Claire screamed. But none of it matters, 'cause the moment they chose not to believe me, they lost me. And what did you find instead? I looked back at the sunrise, golden light breaking through clouds. Myself. Lucas smirked. Sounds lonely. It's not, I said softly. Lonely was being forgotten in a dark room, waiting for someone who never came. This is freedom. He stepped closer. So what do you want from me now? Nothing, I admitted. You helped me when no one else did, but the restyle handle alone. His smile faded. You really mean that? Yes. My voice didn't waver. For the first time, I don't need saving. I don't need approval. I don't need love that betrays me. I just need me. Lucas studied me, then chuckled under his breath. Damn, you're dangerous now. Good, I whispered. Let the world know I'm dangerous. Maybe then it won't try to erase me again. The sun crept higher, painting the city in fire and gold. Lucas asked quietly, So what do I tell the others if they ask about you? Tell them nothing, I said. Let them wonder. Let them search shadows for the girl they thought they buried. They'll never find her because she's gone. And who's standing here instead? He asked. I lifted my chin. Emily Carter, not a victim, not a ghost, not a shadow, just me. He smirked. I like this version. I smiled faintly. So do I. For a moment, we stood in silence, the world awakening around us. Then I turned and started walking down the hill. Where? Are you going? He called after me. Forward, I said without looking back. It's always forward. He laughed softly, but I didn't stop. Every step away from the past felt lighter, stronger. The girl who cried in the dark was gone. The girl who begged for love was gone. I was no longer forgotten. I was finally free.